So I started making these videos because I wanted to talk about censorship and its detrimental effects. I'm wondering if censorship is not, I think it's more expansive than just censorship, because I think censorship is specifically denying people's ability to get information published. And I think the problem here is multifaceted. There's actually blocking publication of stories or deprecating them in algorithms. There's also labeling stuff as misinformation, which discourages people from looking into it further. And then there's also shouting people down and essentially using coercion to try to shut people up when they're not really going along with what the rest of society is going along with. One specific example I want to mention here that I read about and just really appalled me was the example of Jennifer Sey, who was the brand president at Levi Strauss. And according to some sources, she was on path to become the CEO of that company. Now, what happened was in 2020, during the pandemic, she did not support the idea of school closings. She thought that basically it was to the detriment of all children. And yes, we did need to protect our most vulnerable, but what this was doing was sacrificing everyone. And in many ways, particularly the racial minorities, poor people, children that could really benefit from going to school and being in that environment. And this brand president was very outspoken about this. She wrote op-eds, she went to demonstrations, she used her social media platforms to voice this opinion, voice her reasons. She was doing it on behalf of herself, not on behalf of the company. But the company was very upset about her doing this. She got a lot of pushback from a bunch of different people in the company, including the CEO. The head of diversity, equity, and inclusion was going so far as to suggest that Jennifer Sey go on an apology tour talking about how she was an imperfect ally in her efforts to, I guess, support the country. Eventually what happened was Jennifer Sey was not backing down. She kept doing this, and she was told that there wasn't a path forward for her at the company. Now, I do want to mention that Levi Strauss historically has not always sat on the sidelines when it comes to political issues. What I have found online is, for example, they have taken a stand for voting rights, gun control, gay rights, immigration issues. So they've spoken out on this on the past, but I guess Jennifer Sey was not really was not toting the party line that they wanted her to tote. And she ended up, according to her, she was offered $1 million to sign a non-disclosure and leave the company. There's some, from what I'm reading, Levi Strauss is denying having done that. The end result either way is that she did not sign the non-disclosure and she left the company. And if you look at the literature now, there's definitely evidence to support what she was saying, that the lockdowns and staying home from school were very harmful to children, in particular, the most vulnerable children. If you look at my written piece on this, I do have a link and some very specific examples and statistics of this. But like I always say, the end result is kind of beside the point, because even if she had turned out to be wrong, the point was just that there was a lot of uncertainty at the time. This pandemic was something unprecedented in all of our lifetimes. We don't really know all the variables. We know there are going to be unintended consequences, but we're not sure what they are. And there's a lot of value to robust discussion and talking through, well, what are we not considering here? What might the unintended consequences be? What should we maybe do differently? And at the very least, even if you disagree with someone, if you listen to them, you're going to get a better idea of the whole picture and the best pathway forward. And the fact that this woman did this, and not only was she not respected, but she lost her job, it's just very scary. to see that this is what the country has come to, that when we do speak out for what we think is right, that we're in danger of losing an awful lot because of it.